I want your surrender to feel like a doorway you've never walked through, a space where you're both lost and found. When you surrender, you don't shrink. You rise inside my arms, powerful in your vulnerability. I want to hold you so close that your surrender feels like flying instead of falling. Your surrender is the storm and the calm, the thunder and the echo, all wrapped into one. I want to kiss the hesitation from your lips until surrender feels like your native language. In surrender, we become more than two bodies. We become a single pulse in the dark. I want your surrender to be a prayer answered, not a command obeyed. Your surrender is the bridge between who you pretend to be and who you truly are. I want to be the place where your surrender feels like coming home after a lifetime of wandering. Surrender to me like a flame leans into oxygen, wild, inevitable, and unstoppable. Your surrender will paint the night with colors no one else will ever see. I want your surrender not just in flesh, but in every secret heartbeat you've hidden from the world. Surrender to me as you are, unpolished, unguarded, unforgettable. Your surrender is the poetry our skin writes when words aren't enough. I want your surrender to be an offering you choose, not a piece of yourself you lose. When you surrender, the universe tilts and we become its axis. I want to feel you surrender like rain sliding down a window. Slow, unstoppable, beautiful. Your surrender is a cathedral built in silence, echoing with the sound of trust. I want your surrender because it's where I can meet the real you, raw and unhidden. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. Surrender to me like the ocean surrender to the moon, pulled, swayed, and shining under its pull. Your surrender will be the melody my hands play across your skin like a sacred instrument. I want your surrender to feel like shedding armor you never needed around me. When you surrender, every breath you take becomes a confession of desire. I want to guide you to the edge where surrender turns into freedom you never imagined. Your surrender is the rhythm my heartbeat has been waiting for. I want your surrender like the night wants the stars. Silent, endless, inevitable. Surrender to me until the room dissolves and only our pulse remains. Your surrender is the hidden garden I've been aching to step into. I want to hold you so deeply that surrender becomes your safest place. Surrender is the art of being seen, and I want to be the one who witnesses you. Your surrender will be the firelight flickering on every wall inside me. I want your surrender to bloom slowly like trust finally opening its eyes. When you surrender, the air thickens with something too sacred to name. I want your surrender like a poem wants a voice, aching to be read aloud. Your surrender is the gravity pulling us back to the truth of ourselves. I want your surrender to feel like permission, not pressure. Surrender to me like the earth surrenders to rain, thirsty, alive, renewed. Your surrender will be the bridge between the ache and the relief. I want your surrender to be the softest rebellion you've ever chosen. When you surrender, we're no longer lovers, we're constellations colliding. Your surrender is the map, and I am only following its lines with my hands. I want your surrender to teach me what it means to truly hold someone. Surrender to me until there's no past, no future, only us breathing in the now. Your surrender will make the night a language only we understand. I want your surrender to feel like fire meeting fire. No fear, only light. When you surrender, every boundary you've built turns into a doorway we walk through together. Your surrender is the echo of trust that will ring in my chest long after the night ends. I want your surrender like the sky wants the horizon, an endless meeting point. Surrender to me not as a shadow, but as the whole sun pouring itself out. Your surrender will be the moment the world stops spinning just to watch us. I want your surrender to be the truth you whisper when no one's listening but me. When you surrender, your silence becomes louder than every scream of the past. Your surrender is the wildflower blooming in a place you thought was barren. I want your surrender to feel like water after drought, life rushing back in. Surrender to me like a secret too heavy to carry alone. Your surrender will carve constellations into the dark sky above us. I want your surrender because it's the one thing you can only give, never be forced. When you surrender, I don't take from you, I hold you completely. Your surrender will be the story I'll never stop telling in the language of touch. When I say I want you to surrender, I'm asking for your trust, your breath, and the tremble of your soul in my hands. Tonight, I don't just want your body. I want the storm inside you to bow to my calm touch. Your surrender in my arms isn't about losing power. It's about discovering how powerful your vulnerability can be. I crave the moment your eyes close, your defenses melt, and you fall into me as if the world has vanished. Let your heartbeat speak louder than words. Let your surrender become the language we only understand in the dark. I want every sigh, every shiver, every whisper from you to feel like an offering you've never given before. When you surrender, it's not obedience, it's a sacred exchange where we both become something infinite, In my embrace, surrender isn't weakness. It's a silent rebellion against everything that tried to harden you. I want to feel you unravel beneath my touch, piece by piece, until you're nothing but truth and breath. Your surrender will be the poetry our bodies write on the sheets, one pulse at a time. Close your eyes and trust me. Your surrender is the map, my hands the destination. I want you to let go of control, let go of fear, and drift into a place where only desire lives. Surrender isn't about giving up. It's about giving into the fire that's been waiting between us. When you surrender to me, you're not disappearing. You're finally being seen without any disguise. I don't want to conquer you. I want to witness you, open and trembling in your most sacred self. Your surrender will be a symphony I'll memorize, every note etched into my veins forever. In this room, surrender isn't an act of weakness, but a ceremony of trust. I want you to give me not just your body, but your hidden worlds, your locked doors, your unspoken prayers. Surrender is when your breath becomes a confession. My hands already know how to read. Every time you surrender, the universe pauses to watch two souls collide without shame. I want you to stop performing and start dissolving right here, right now, against my chest. Your surrender will not erase you. It will illuminate you in a way you've never known. I don't want to take from you. I want to hold all the parts you've been too afraid to offer. Surrender is the moment where passion and trust become indistinguishable, and that's where I'm waiting for you. Let me undress not just your skin, but the memories you keep hidden beneath it. Surrender to me not as a prisoner, but as a queen choosing her throne of softness and fire. I want to meet you at the edge, where surrender feels like falling, but lands like flying. In the stillness of our shadows, your surrender will echo louder than any word you've ever spoken. I want you to feel safe enough to tremble, to let your breath hitch, to forget where you end and I begin. Surrender isn't about losing. It's about opening the door to a deeper, wilder freedom. Tonight, I don't just want your surrender. I want to cradle the version of you who's never been held like this. Your surrender is the art I've been waiting my whole life to study with my hands. I want you to surrender every hesitation, every doubt, until all that's left is the sound of your heartbeat. The beauty of surrender is that it turns silence into music and touch into prayer. Your surrender will be a mirror, showing me the parts of myself I didn't know how to touch. I don't want to own you. I want to honor you, completely open, completely unguarded. Surrender to me not as an act of obedience, but as a declaration of trust between equals. I want to guide you into surrender, but only if your soul is ready to lead the way. In surrender, the night becomes infinite, and we become its stars. Your surrender will be the story our bodies tell long after words run out. I want you to let go so completely that the only thing left is truth between us. Surrender is not about control. It's about connection so deep it can't be named. Your surrender will be the secret we write on the walls of time itself. I want to be the place where you can surrender without fear, without shame, without disguise. Surrender to me like waves surrender to the shore, again and again, unafraid of breaking. Your surrender will teach me how to love you in ways you've never been loved before. I want your surrender not as a trophy, but as a treasure offered willingly. When you surrender, the air thickens, the room shifts, and time dissolves into our breath. Surrender is when you stop thinking and start feeling, and that's where I'll meet you. I want your surrender to be a dance, not a demand, a journey, not a cage. Your surrender will be the quiet revolution we start under the softness of the sheets. I want to catch every fragment of you as you fall into surrender, piece by piece. Surrender to me like a secret you've been aching to tell, but couldn't until now. Your surrender will make the night holy, our bodies temples, our touch scripture.